Hello and welcome to another Wicked Gameplay episode. Today we are looking at a new twin engine prop aircraft here, and this is by the team at Milviz Military Visualizations, if I can get that right. These guys actually produced this plane. I don't think it's a really new plane. I think it's maybe a year old or so, but it is actually quite a nice aircraft, and I wanted to try a different manufacturer's, different aircraft modeling company. So Milviz do some pretty good work from what I've seen, and this is what I wanted to check out. So we're going to be looking at this aircraft. I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different this time. I'm doing a complete flight. Probably will edit the video down for the sake of time, but we're going to be doing a flight here in a part of Australia which is just north of Sydney, called Port Macquarie. This airport here is just one runway, I believe, and we're going to be flying up to a coastal town. This is on the eastern side of Australia, but we're going to be flying to the coastal town of Coffs Harbour. So I've never actually been up there. And one of the things I really like about doing these kind of trips is it's kind of like a real life trip for me, since I live in Sydney, Australia. So this is the kind of flight that I might actually really want to do one day. So really cool. Let's have a quick look at this plane. By the way, I should just mention I'm actually here at this scenery is Orbix scenery. This is the Port Macquarie airport, created by Orbix. So very nice, very cool. And the airport we'll be arriving at in Coffs Harbour is also an Orbix scenery, and I have not yet seen it, so that'll be pretty cool too. Anyway, back to the aircraft, which is what we're here for. Very nice. You can see the, look at that modelling, the rivets on the body there, the fuselage. Looks really cool. That weathered kind of look, which I always like. It's very well done. These guys produce a few different aircraft, and they do some good work. I really like it. Got a bit of disdain from the weathered kind of look there. It looks really cool. You can see we've got some covers there in the engines. We've also got the chocks there, so I believe we should be able to just take these off with this option here. So we can remove the chocks, and then you have the pitot engine covers. We'll remove those, and then you can also swap from a dual blade prop to a, I guess, tri-blade prop there. So we're going to stick with the tri-blade. I don't really know why. It'd be great if anyone knows the difference between a tri-blade and a dual blade, the purpose of why one might be beneficial over the other. That'd be great. I'd love to hear that in the comments, because I know there's some very smart people that watch this channel, and I really appreciate that. So I love your feedback, and always appreciate that extra knowledge. So okay, we've had a bit of a look outside here. Why don't we jump inside here and have a look at what she looks like inside. Okay, so here we are inside the aircraft. It's pretty nicely done. It's actually quite good in here. It's very well detailed, and I'm very happy with this. I have done a couple of short hops in this thing. It's actually really nice. So we can actually hide the yokes here. We've got a clock here. I believe that these will work, the elevator pitch and stuff. So you can actually use those. So we're just going to hide that yoke so we can have a little bit of a look around here. So you can see here we've got our instruments, turn coordinator, all the typical stuff you might expect. We've got amps and RPM, manifold pressure, fuel pressure, fuel gauges for both wings, our radio stack, and what's kind of a bit interesting is our throttle is actually in the middle, so that's kind of a bit weird to get used to, and it does have a weather radar here. Just down this thing here is the weather radar, so we can actually turn that on. So why don't we get this thing fired up? There's probably only one thing that I'd have to pick on in this aircraft, and that is the cockpit lighting, which kind of seems a little bit odd. There's our main power. Turn our alternator and that on. We'll give this thing some mixture, bit of throttle, and we'll put our props up. Now I'm not going to be following, got some nice sounds there, not going to be following any real procedures being a simulator, and just to keep these flights short, as I always do, I'm just going to be getting the aircraft going and getting this underway. You can actually open these doors too. Although there does seem to be a bit of a delay when you click on it. You've also got this side window. What is that sound? It keeps going. Now we can't get rid of this sound. Exit open, exit closed. Okay, so that was weird. Alrighty. First thing I want to do, get the beacon on. All the switches have got a really nice sound, which is kind of cool. So get our beacon. I might just turn my nav lights on now. And we have the starters over here, so we're going to check. No one's out there, and yell clear, clear. And we'll just start this engine. Do the left-hand prop. This little bit of black smoke that comes off that. We'll just jump down to, this is the Copilot. Got this panel down here which gives us the lighting. So this is the only thing that's kind of strange to me. Say we're up about 40%. And you can see the gauges just become so washed out, particularly the our horizon indicator here, which is kind of crazy. And we're not even what are we at, 40%, so that's kind of a bit weird. Might just if we have a quick look at what that looks like. Maybe it's because of the reflections, I don't know, but that's probably the biggest issue I have. We've got some other lighting here, but we're not going to need that. That would be my my only complaint really with this aircraft. Other than that, it is quite nice. It is really nice to fly. And we're going to be heading over to runway 21 and taking off. We're not going to be using any kind of air traffic control. So we can get back in the cockpit. Also, the other strange thing over here is this thing does absolutely nothing. I don't know, maybe it's just a light, I don't really know. This is the autopilot off switch, and you can actually, here's the autopilot over here, so I might actually set this up. Set this up at maybe, I don't want to be that high, maybe we'll go to about 6,000 feet. I'm not going to let you use a heading or anything at this stage. We should probably program this as a direct trip. So we're not going to be doing any real major flight plans. We just want to get a general idea of where we're going. It is just straight north. Should be let's have a little look. Should be YSCH. Oops. Coffs Harbour, so that's where we're going. So we'll hit enter, activate that, and it's due north. So we're going to close this. That just tells us basically where we're going. We're really just going to head sort of to our west, or to our west. I'm going to head to the east a little bit here, and fly up the coast. That's basically, and Coffs Harbour's right on the coast there, so that's what we're going to be doing. So let's get ourselves underway here. We'll give ourselves some, get this going. Taxiways here. I think we just go to straight ahead here. Turn our radar on. It's distance. We could just take off from here. So let's go one set of flaps. Probably really should now. Well, we should have already. Taxi and landing lights. What else are we going to need? Pitot, I don't think we'll need it today. Temperature. Oops. Still quite warm. It's pretty clear, so we should be good to go. We'd probably normally turn off fuel pumps, but I'm not even gonna do that. So we probably should start off the other end of the runway, but what I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to turn around. We'll bank around and we'll head back north. I haven't checked the winds. Got to get myself some rudder pedals. I have got a twist joystick, but which kind of not so good all the time. Now we're going to get a lot of wind here. G'day, gear up. Flaps up. We're up in the air. Just trim it down a little bit. Head over the water here. We'll fly all the way up the coast along the beach. So what I might do is get our heading bug going. Be around north here. And just trim this down a little bit more. And then we can turn on our autopilot heading and altitude. We'll just climb at maybe 500 feet a minute. Get our sort of main direction going here. We can jump outside and have a little look. That's Port Macquarie on our left. Got some nice beach on the right here. And there's this beautiful Beech Baron 55. lovely aircraft. Okay, so we're going to switch the autopilot off here, and I'm going to just start flying over the coast area here, and we're going to just come in sort of parallel. The runway is actually 03, so we need to get over the land and sort of follow the coastline along there, and we'll basically be lined up with the runway. You can see the runway lights there. Also, just starting to watch off some speed. We want to get the aircraft ready, going slow enough to be able to get our gear down and our flaps. We're just going to be manually landing. I don't know, I don't believe this airport has an ILS landing, so I'm just going to do a visual approach. Start washing off some speed. Gonna pitch his nose up just to get wash off some of this airspeed and get this gear down. Losing a bit too much altitude there, so just increasing the pitch. We're a little bit low, but we should be good. Nice soft landing. Probably should have had my taxi lights on already. So it looks like we're suffering from a little bit of frame loss. Let's have a little look at Coffs Harbour. So this is Orbix Coffs Harbour. You can see, yeah, definitely frames aren't doing so good at the moment. I don't know if it's the airport or... could just be this airport. It's something I'll have to look at because generally haven't really had any problems. Yeah, it could be this airport because there's a few additional options that come with this airport. That could be one of the reasons why we're having a little bit of a problem. So let's just shut this down. You'd think all the lights would switch off there, but okay, well that's the Beech Baron by Milviz. I think it's a pretty nice aircraft. I'd recommend it. I think it's a pretty nice aircraft. It's definitely nice to fly. I haven't really had any problems with it, and you know, if you're looking for a nice twin engine Beech Baron, this is definitely one to consider. So definitely a challenging flight with the couple of problems there. But we've persevered and we've made it through. We've made it through to Coffs Harbour. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.